If you have diabetes and your feet felt numb, tingling, or like they're burning at night, your body is trying to tell you something serious. And most doctors only give you half the answer. Here's the thing. Diabetic neuropathy, which is nerve damage caused by diabetes, affects nearly 50% of people with type 2 diabetes at some point in their lives. And the frustrating part, most people are handed a prescription, told to control their blood sugar, and sent home. But research now shows that blood sugar alone is not the only driver of nerve damage in type 2 diabetes, and treating it like it is means you could be missing the most powerful tools available to you. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what actually damages your nerves, what the latest research says works, and the practical steps you can start doing right now to slow the damage, reduce the pain, and protect your quality of life. And if you want a free checklist of the 10 best daily habits to reverse type 2 diabetes naturally, just drop the word checklist below in the comments and I'll send it straight to you. Now let's get into this. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dinah and I'm a diabetes dietitian. So first, let's talk about why neuropathy happens, because this changes everything about how you treat it. For a long time, doctors focus almost entirely on blood sugar as the cause of nerve damage. And yes, high blood sugar does damage nerves, but here's what the research is now saying. In type 2 diabetes specifically, it's not just glucose. It's a whole combination of things: excess body weight, high triglycerides, high blood pressure, smoking, and being physically inactive. All of those things together are driving nerve damage just as much as blood sugar is. Think of it like this. Your nerves are like electrical wires. Blood sugar damage is like one pair of scissors cutting through the wire. But obesity, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and inactivity are 4 more pairs of scissors doing damage at the same time. If you only put down one pair of scissors, the wire is still getting cut. That's why the modern approach to neuropathy is no longer just lower your A1C. It's about lowering all of your cardiometabolic risk factors together. So what actually works? Let's go through this one by one. The number one most well-supported lifestyle tool for diabetic neuropathy is exercise. I know you've heard it before, but hear me out because the evidence here is actually really specific and impressive. A 2025 meta-analysis that looked at 9 randomized controlled trials found that exercise produced meaningful improvements in nerve function, with the strongest results coming from moderate intensity programs done consistently over about 8 weeks. It improved lower limb nerve conduction velocity, which is basically how fast your nerves send signals, and it improved sensory nerve function. And here's the really interesting part. Some studies found that supervised exercise actually improved the density of small nerve fibers in the skin of the lower legs, even in people who didn't see major changes in their blood sugar. That means exercise may directly help nerves regenerate, not just indirectly through glucose control. That is a big deal. You don't need to run a marathon. Walking, cycling, swimming, resistance training, these all count. The key is consistency and moderate intensity. Okay, so the second major tool is weight loss and improving your overall diet quality. The biggest study on this is called the Look Ahead trial. It followed over 5,000 overweight or obese adults with type 2 diabetes for years. The group that did an intensive lifestyle program, meaning weight loss combined with physical activity, lost an average of 8.6% of their body weight in the first year and had significantly lower neuropathy scores that stayed lower for several years. The improvements tracked directly with their weight loss, their A1C changes, and their lipid improvements. There was also a smaller pilot trial that put people on a low-fat, plant-based diet with weekly support for 20 weeks. Participants lost an average of 6.4 kilograms, which is around 14 pounds, and reported meaningful reductions in neuropathy pain scores. No single diet is magic, but the pattern that comes through in the research is clear. Reducing excess body fat, eating more whole, minimally processed foods, and managing your blood lipids, your cholesterol, and blood pressure through what you eat. These things move the needle on nerve health. The third tool is nutritional support for your nerves. Some cases of neuropathy are linked to specific nutrient deficiencies. The most common ones associated with nerve damage are B12, vitamin B1, which is thiamine, vitamin B6, vitamin E, and copper. These nutrients all play direct roles in how nerves function and repair themselves. If you've been on metformin for a while, this is especially important. Metformin is known to deplete vitamin B12 over time, and B12 deficiency on its own can cause or worsen neuropathy symptoms. If you haven't had your B12 levels checked recently, that's worth bringing up with your doctor at your next visit. Always get tested before supplementing because more isn't always better here. Too much B6, for example, can actually cause neuropathy rather than help it. So get your B levels checked before starting a supplement. The fourth tool is smoking cessation. This one doesn't get talked about enough in the context of neuropathy. Smoking restricts blood vessels. When blood flow is restricted, less oxygen reaches your nerves. Less oxygen means more nerve damage, more pain, more numbness. Quitting smoking is one of the most impactful things a person with diabetic neuropathy can do to slow the progression of nerve damage. Okay, now let's talk about pain, because this is where things get hard and where most people feel the most stuck. The honest truth is that lifestyle changes work really well for slowing neuropathy progression, but once painful neuropathy is already established, you need more tools in your toolkit. The good news is there are several things you can try at home that actually have research backing them up. The first one, something almost anyone can do tonight, is a warm bath. Warm water increases blood circulation throughout your body, which directly helps reduce the pain and numbness that comes with neuropathy. There's also research suggesting a warm saltwater bath may be particularly beneficial. Just be careful with the temperature. If your sensory nerves are already affected, you may not feel the heat the way you used to, so test the water with your elbow first. The second home remedy is meditation and mind-body techniques. Now, before you roll your eyes, this is not just feel-good advice. Chronic nerve pain is exhausting mentally, and stress actually amplifies how intensely your brain registers pain signals. Meditation helps lower that stress response, improves your ability to cope, and can meaningfully reduce the intensity of pain you experience day to day. It's not going to cure neuropathy, but as a part of a broader plan, it gives you back some control. Third, herbal and anti-inflammatory remedies. So several herbs have genuine anti-inflammatory properties that may help reduce neuropathy-related pain. The most researched ones include cayenne pepper. Cayenne in particular contains a compound called capsicum, which is actually used in prescription strength topical creams for nerve pain. It works by reducing the chemical signals your nerves use to transmit pain. You'll find capsicum creams over the counter at most pharmacies. Fourth, acupuncture. This one surprises people, but there's actual research suggesting acupuncture can help reduce neuropathy-related pain. It works by stimulating pressure points in the body that trigger the release of natural pain-relieving chemicals in your nervous system. More research is still needed to nail down exactly how well it works for diabetic neuropathy specifically, but if you've tried other things and still have significant pain, it's worth exploring with a qualified practitioner. And fifth, essential oils. Some essential oils, including eucalyptus, lavender, and bergamot, have pain-relieving and anti-inflammatory properties and may help increase circulation when applied to the skin. You always want to dilute them in a carrier oil like olive oil, a few drops per ounce, before applying to the affected area. They won't fix underlying nerve damage, but for managing that burning and tingling sensation day to day, some people find real relief. Okay, the fifth and final tool is foot care, and this one is purely protection. When neuropathy affects sensation, you may not feel cuts, blisters, or pressure wounds on your feet. These small injuries left unnoticed can become serious infections fast. Checking your feet every single day, wearing proper footwear, keeping your skin moisturized, and seeing a podiatrist regularly are not optional add-ons. They are core neuropathy management that can literally save your limbs. So to bring this all together, diabetic neuropathy is driven by more than blood sugar alone, which means treating it requires more than blood sugar alone. The most evidence-backed strategies are regular, moderate exercise, intentional weight loss if needed, a whole food diet that supports your overall metabolic health, correcting nutrient deficiencies, especially B12 if warranted, quitting smoking, using home remedies like warm baths and anti-inflammatory herbs to manage pain day to day, and lastly, protecting your feet every single day. These are the tools that research across thousands of patients consistently supports for slowing nerve damage, reducing pain, and protecting your mobility and quality of life long term. Comment checklist below to get my free list of the 10 daily best habits to reverse type 2 diabetes naturally. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel.